Welcome. Here we are, back for yet another, possibly the final episode. Episode? Is that the terminology I'm going with? Possibly the final stream of process elimination, or the second to final. Who knows? Who knows where the world will take us, but we're here. Hi everybody, welcome. So, last time on process of elimination. Oh my gosh, I just remembered how good the last, everything that happened the last time we played was so good. So last time we played process of elimination, Renegade kidnapped Posh, and he was like, if you want her back, you have to come talk to me. And Watto was like, okay, I'll come talk to you. And then Renegade was like, actually, if you want to save her, you have to fight me to the death. And Watto was like, I don't know about that. But then he did it, and he won. And then once he won, he left the room. And then once he left the room, you know, there was a very special somebody waiting. Bath scene. Dead. And yeah, that's where we ended. That's it. That's where we ended. So now we're going back. We're right after where Workaholic died. Workaholic's steamy bath scene. But now we're here for a continuation of that bath scene. Yeah, hoo-wee. That's right. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Apart from the stab wounds on his chest, his body remains untouched, making it harder to accept as reality. Was he really murdered? Yeah, old men. I wish the CG was still visible right here. Who would do something so awful? We're the only survivors left now, which means there's only one person who could be the culprit, right? That's right. There's no doubt about it. Oh! There's the CG. Here, how do I make it so the there we go. There we go, everybody. Just in case you missed it last time, here's Workaholic's death scene. The electrocution caused the alarm, which occurred when the power returned. So Workaholic was killed when the tripped breakers were reset. All of us were with somebody else. That leaves only one candidate who could have set this trap. It was him again. Renegade detective. The timing with which the breakers tripped was too perfect. He looks fine in death, in life. Literally, it's crazy. It's absurd. I'm going to miss him, because every time he appeared on screen, we were all screaming. We were all screaming here. He planned from the start to escape under the cover of darkness, while killing Workaholic at the same time. Could it have been his plan was to lure us here? Renegade detective was waiting for the elevator to be repaired, was he not? The girl asked. Yeah. What Bookworm says makes sense. Even with the key, he couldn't use it while so many of us were camped out in front of the elevator. What if he's using Workaholic's corpse and the alarm to distract us? That explosion could have been Renegade Detective destroying the elevator after he finished using it. Let's get back over there. We gotta find out what's going on. I take the lead as we head over to where the others are waiting in front of the elevator. An unthinkable sight awaits us when we arrive at the elevator. What? What? Huh? What happened? The elevator is stuck, its door slightly ajar. Blood drips from the gap like a tap left running. Against my will, the overwhelming stench of blood forces me to imagine what tragedy could have transpired inside. The elevator was functioning, so I summoned it to our floor, and this is how it appeared. The inner doors will not budge, and everything is covered in blood. The three of us weren't strong enough to open it. Incompetent, could you help us out? Yes, of course. We all grab the gates and pull with our combined strength. The metal scrapes along as it gradually shifts. That's like terrifying. That's so much blood. Can you imagine how much blood you would need in order to like have that happen? Like that much of a pool? The more the gap widens, the more blood spills out. It's like opening a portal to hell. Unfortunately, Yaoi, you may see Renegade Detective very soon. I don't want to look, but I can't bring myself to avert my eyes. Once we forcefully pry the gates apart, a swirl of emotions assails me. Yippee! What? 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 Oh my gosh, Dofal's little screech there. Eek! A headless corpse tumbles out of the open elevator. Headless? Blood flows from the stump of its neck. I know I've seen this body before. That body, those clothes, could it be? Which other person here is wearing those red heels? Renegade Detective? What? But Renegade killed Workaholic, did he not? So why is Renegade himself dead as well? Perhaps it's a decoy. We should thoroughly inspect the body. Guys, I think that might be Berrie Bam's dead body. Stay back, Bookworm. We'll take a look. We cautiously approach what appears to be Renegade Detective's remains and investigate. I haven't seen a decapitated body in a long time. Nauseating, isn't it? There wasn't a lot of time in between now and us losing sight of him. Who cut his head off, and how? The collar Workaholic mentioned must have gone off. This is all so horrible. So what we heard a minute ago was the collar detonating. But what caused it? I refuse to believe that Renegade Detective could die so easily, the girl said, sharing her candid opinion while covering both eyes with her hands. Yeah, I feel the same way. It looks like the Renegade we know so well. But without any head on this corpse, we can't tell if it's really him. Knowing him, it doesn't seem impossible that he's still hiding somewhere, alive and well. And then there are further mysteries atop of all this. Ugh. We hear a tremendous boom from above us. It feels closer than the last one, if the shaking floor is any indication. If the first explosion was the collar, then what's the second one? There are too many peculiarities about all this, don't you think? Absolutely. Renegade was the only one with an elevator key, so no one other than him could have called for it. But Renegade was killed on an upper level, so maybe it'd make sense to assume someone besides us was on the surface? Someone besides us? But who? Were they in the research facility above ground the whole time, waiting for him to arrive? If that's the case, who could have murdered Workaholic? To say somebody was biding their time up there presents a clear contradiction. The two of them were simultaneously killed on separate levels, but the conditions for each murder conflict with the other. If we were to name this case, then the case of the Paradox killings would be apt, said the girl, sharing her thoughts. Paradox killings. Everyone apart from Posh and myself was in the lobby. It's an obvious fact that none of us could have killed Workaholic. Renegade Detective's the only one who had the opportunity to kill him, but he was killed too. Could there be someone else on this floor? Or is there someone like me, with superhuman abilities to defy these contradictions? Holmes, what do I do? I ask Holmes, but I don't see her. She hasn't appeared at all since I remembered my past. Does that have something to do with why I haven't seen her since yesterday? Or is she choosing not to appear to me? I don't understand what's going on at all. But there's no time to wait. We won't be able to escape this island if we don't unpack this mystery. We're so close to escaping. Our only choice is to solve this case, no matter what it takes. Oh! The flashes, like just a little tease of it. Chapter 5. The Case of the Paradox Murders. Eek! Do you think he can reach headquarters? No, nothing's changed. The comms network is just as unstable as it was when we first arrived on the island. Still, it's already been a week since we lost contact. Assuming they've noticed something's off, help should arrive soon. There's no way we'll miss a rescue team as long as we're on the surface. I guess our best option is to sit tight and wait for now. Come to think of it, this lobby looks exactly like the one underground. Yes, I'm sure that's on purpose. The elevator has no button for going down below, and you can't get there without that special key. It was clearly meant to be kept secret. Maybe it's designed like this so that even if pictures were leaked, they could explain it away? It's likely that there were members in the research facility who, like me, didn't know about the underground sector. So even within the organization, they really didn't want anyone knowing, huh? We all have a look around, and while there are traces of an explosion, there isn't anything too unusual. That is, apart from one thing in particular. Incompetent. I found Renegade Detective's head. Oh, poor Doleful, him saying that in his like small little meek voice. Ugh, this is horrible. It's overwhelmingly graphic. By no means can we let Bookworm's photographic memory see it. We keep watch, ensuring the rest don't notice. The area where the collar was implanted is scorched, confirming the noise we had heard before was, in fact, the collar detonating. So the cause of death really was the collar exploding, then. Hang on. Gourmet said he was caught between the elevator and floor, and died from shock as it tore his head off. There was a gap in between the elevator doors, remember? Judging by the scorch marks on them, it was forcefully made by an exploding collar. And then the elevator started moving, with his head still stuck in the gap, which, you know... which tore it off. It's hard to imagine anyone doing something so sickening. The plan must have taken into account how old the elevator is, not to mention its lax security measures. Whatever the case, it's horrifying. Wait, there are burn marks on his neck, but that doesn't make sense if he wasn't killed by the explosion. It must have been the second explosion. Renegade Detective took a number of reserve collars with him, right? He probably used one of them to blast the elevator doors open, so maybe the second one is the one on his neck going off. So the collar on his neck detonated after his head was already torn off. He may have had it coming, but it's hard not to feel for him. Yeah, it's hard to believe someone could think up a murder like this. The quartering duke's far crueler than we thought. So the culprit detonated a reserve collar to force the elevator open, then stuck Renegade Detective's head in between the doors and escaped. When the elevator moved, it tore off Renegade Detective's head, which rolled to the ground, with its collar going off shortly after that. Why go through all of that effort? I can't make any sense of it. Why jump through all these hoops to kill Renegade Detective with the elevator specifically? It'd be way quicker and less risky to do away with him by hand. There's also this, which I'm guessing was made to mock us. It was attached to the elevator's operating panel. Bro, this murderer is the funniest guy known to man. Like, warning! Warning, this button may cause death! Doleful takes a piece of notepad paper from his pocket. Scribbled upon it are the words, "Warning, this button may cause death." It really did mean death, for Renegade Detective. Yeah, maybe Renegade Detective knew he was about to die and jotted this down as a joke. I was so tense when I pressed that button. This is nothing to laugh at, though. Sorry, Watto. Sorry. Then again, trying to inject humor into such a morbid situation would be so very like him. We finish examining his corpse and return below ground. I found spare collars in his pocket, probably the same model that was implanted on him. Workaholic mentioned it before, but these devices can be remotely detonated via a transmitter, such as a D-pad. How can it be done on a D-pad? All you'd have to do is use the messaging function to send a keyword to the target. To keep things simple, let's call this keyword a command. I've analyzed the internal data and confirmed that detonation requires a command from 3 or more devices. Meaning 3 or more D-pads. So basically, 3 or more detectives would have had to send those messages to Renegade Detective. Workaholic said that he needed my help with the detonation, so he planned to have me, himself, and an unknown third party use our D-pads to trigger it. By the way, there's also a security function that causes it to self-destruct when the back is pried open, preventing you from seeing any internal data. This is straight out of a spy movie. Couldn't that be used to trigger an explosion? It'd go off in under 10 seconds, and you can't open it back when it's attached, so it's hard to utilize systematically. At best, it could be a small bomb. So you could use one to bust open the elevator doors, but anything else beyond that would be a lot of extra trouble. Did the culprit sever Renegade Detective's collar, remove it, and then detonate it? No, that'd take too much time and leave even more evidence. It makes more sense for it to be detonated the standard way, remotely. Can you tell which devices were used to do this? Unfortunately not. The detonated collar was blown to smithereens, so there's no way to check. What if they used the D-pads of those who have already died? The girl asked, presenting a third possibility. That could be a workaround, yes. But then again, they would each require fingerprint recognition, so only their owners could use them, correct? Why not just cut off a finger from a corpse and take it with you? The girl replied. Gracious, what a dangerous mind you have lingering behind that sweet face. Well, it is a possibility. One could easily carry around a severed finger or two. If the culprit is the quartering duke, it's definitely not out of the question for him. Oh, wait. Workaholic and Renegade mentioned an alternative method of triggering the detonation, right? Maybe the culprit used that instead. Good point. That's something we'll need to look into. Thanks for bringing it up. Also, we finished Workaholic's post-mortem report. The cause of death is cardiopulmonary arrest due to prolonged electrocution. The stab wounds on his chest implied that he fought someone, but they don't seem to have anything to do with how he actually died. Also, there's nothing off about the shutter. The underground research facility was totally cut off from the outside ever since we arrived. So that means the culprit is here somewhere. But we've all been moving about together, so our alibis line up perfectly. I'm again reminded of Bookworm's remark about these killings being paradoxical. Both of them died at virtually the same time, one above ground and one below. If we fail to address that, then we won't solve this case. Everyone's gaze instinctively turns toward me. I get it. It's become something of a pattern for an investigation to only really get going after I give the word. Aw, that's cute. Wato's character development is so good. I can do this. I have to. I speak aloud, trying to encourage myself. Ideal Detective isn't here, making this my first time taking charge all on my own. I'm nervous, but it's something I must do. Alright, everyone. We could just head to the surface and call for help, leaving all of this behind. But we're detectives. Whenever a case presents itself, our only option is to investigate it. A tragedy has occurred right before our eyes. It's up to us to reverse it. Everything about these two deaths is bizarre. Our investigation begins as we strive to detangle this mystery. Hee hee hee. Investigation moment. Okay. Okay. Oh geez, there's a lot of stuff here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let Wato cook. Please. Let's fucking go. Okay. So I could send her to the inference square because she can infer so well. Smart little bookworm. There we go. And then I can send Doleful to the here, and he can investigate this or inspect it. Yippee! He just barely makes it. Cool. So that was a good idea. And then Posh can go over here. And inspect. Oh, and then Wato can get this residual thought. Hell yes! I haven't been 100%ing them, so I haven't been getting the residual thoughts. So this is my first time getting one. Oh, and then he could just, can he move out? No, he can't move out the door. I guess he can move and then he could just analyze something that we give him. Ooh. Where's Doleful? Oh, I already moved Doleful. Sorry. And then what should you do? Maybe we can move you over here. Doleful. Yeah, we can move her over here. Cool. Okay. Preliminary investigation. Why, if it isn't a rubber wristband for guests, who dropped it here? We need to return it from whence it came. Evidence acquired. Rubber wristband. Huh? There's something on the floor. It's the remote for the AC? What's it doing here? Evidence acquired. AC remote. Excess electricity usage causes breakers to shut off. Father always warned me not to run the AC and the microwave at the same time. The culprit tripped the breakers, prompting a blackout without directly interfering with the distribution board. surmised the girl. Evidence acquired. Distribution board. Does this photo belong to Posh? Oh, photo of happy employees. After dinner, in my infinite wisdom, I reflect upon the day's events and chart our next course, as one would expect from a chief detective. It has been an entire 24 hours since our imprisonment within this manor, a rather precarious situation, to say the least. Although we have access to ample provisions, morale will inevitably crumble in due time. Those with such temperaments as Rowdy's, blunt with a strong sense of justice, could run amok at any moment. I must keep them in check. Though I feel ideal detective, that is, Holmes, would have done a finer job of doing so. I recall the face of my internal competitor. Ultimately, I was never able to best her. A knock sounds out at the door, breaking me out of my reverie. Keeping my guard up, I open the door to see Workaholic. In his hands, he holds a teapot that I remember spotting in the dining room. I saw on the security camera that you were still up. If there's something on your mind, would you like to discuss it over tea? There he is! Ooh. My, aren't you a perceptive one, for a commoner? I shall humbly accept your offer. Black tea is mental fuel for the noble woman, after all. Workaholic beckons me to sit on the bed before pouring some into cups on his desk. Or on the desk. After adding in my preferred amount of sugar, he proffers the drink to me with meticulously practiced ease. Male wife detective. This is male wife and fail girl detective hanging out. The full-bodied aroma wafting from the cup soothes my weary mind. From the looks of it, you've been overworking yourself since yesterday. Are you doing all right? Overworking myself? Preposterous! I'll thank you not to think so little of the aristocracy. No need to put on such a strong front. Weren't you and the chief on close terms? She'd always go on about how you're going to blossom one day. Holmes said that? About me? And in spite of her constant mockery, too. To think she would leave such a sentiment behind upon meeting her demise. The yellow-bellied coward. I nearly speak my vitriol out loud before I realize the words will not reach her, quietly swallowing my vexation. I'm well aware of your circumstances, all the pressure you're under to rebuild your family's standing. Only you would continue to use your legal name in spite of the risks. Ariel Allen Pinkerton. I find your commitment impressive, actually. Having said that, it's also cause for concern. I fear you'll grind yourself down to nothing, the way our old chief did when she died defending us. He has me pegged. I feel my voice hitch in my throat. However, a proper chief cannot allow such commentary to faze them. Thus, I maintain a cool demeanor and give my reply. Ariel Shrimperton! That's too cute! I nodded my head back and forth. That's too cute. Bear in mind, I am of society's upper crust. Thus, it is my duty to suffer on behalf of the common people. As acting chief, I have an obligation to protect those around me, for Holmes' sake as well. So please, do not trouble yourself over this. Can he have you what? I mean, get in the back of the line. Got it. You're right. If things were that simple, you wouldn't be struggling like this. I just hope the day comes when you let yourself cooperate with those around you, rather than trying to shoulder everything on your own. It's too late for some folks, like me and the old chief. With that, Workaholic excuses himself. Left in my own company, I began to ruminate upon his words. It was too late for Holmes a workaholic, was it? Well, bah to that. I refused to change either. Since my birth, no other soul has tried in earnest to restore the Pinkerton name. Far from assisting my endeavors, many have taken to mockery instead. But trials by fire are all that I know, and I am of no mind to alter my methods. Rest assured, Holmes, even if it should claim my life, I shall oust your killer and see this group home safely. Well aware that she cannot hear me, I voice this proclamation to my lifelong rival nonetheless. Wah! Ariel Posh Shrimperton. My goodness. Oh, that was cute. That's cute. I like her and Holmes' relationship. That's adorable. Analyze. Stop. It's a photo of Posh with her employees. Was she the one responsible for this? Why is she so cute? She's so cute. Let's have him analyze that, and then... What else? Can she analyze anything? I think... Oh, she has a 3 too. I didn't know that. Okay, she can analyze the wristband, and then is anybody else free? Where is Watto? Oh, he was getting the residual thought. Okay. Everybody's taken. Okay. Analysis complete. This wristband glows in the dark. If Workaholic had this on, I bet you could locate him even in a blackout. If one were careful, they could also control when he was electrocuted, sort of like flipping a switch. Analysis complete. My analysis shows that the temperature and speed were at max, and the timer was set to just before the crime. This was the culprit's doing, no doubt. Okay. This is really scary. The, like, this around the elevator scares me. Okay. So we have the thing there. I think I need to investigate. Cool. So we have him doing this. Yeah, I should move him. Oh wait, no. I should get him as close as possible while still being able to inspect it. Oh, but his inspection radius is so low. That's okay. Yeah, literally the death squares trademark. They're so scary. It's because Renegade tripped and dropped his 50 collars. He went, Kya! Kya! Can Watto even... I don't even think Watto can inspect from there. Wow. Can Watto... Okay, Watto's gonna have to analyze. But let's get her in here. Inspect. And then... Oh, she's just barely not making it. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Ah! Yeah, I don't think she can do anything. Oh! Just kidding! Just kidding. I guess you can inspect the rooms. I didn't expect that. I didn't know that. It seemed like you couldn't. Same for Doleful. I do have, yes, map-wide movement. It just locks them from doing anything. I'm trying to be, like, the most, like, as efficient as possible. Efficiency run? Look at that. Look at... Bookworm never ceases to cook. You're right. She's perfect. She's so talented. Jeez, 15 turns. Somebody's gonna have to go help her. But... Oh... Poor Posh has such bad inference. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Wait, can Watto do this one though? I thought his inspection radius was pretty large. Oh, I lied. Yeah, Posh is like... Wait, does she really? No, inspection? Posh... Or wait, analyzation. Wait. What the hell? Why? I love her. I love her. She's such a fail girl, but she's so genuinely, like, good. She's the, like... She's a fail girl who, like, is winning somehow. Wow. Her and Watto both have such low inference scores. What am I gonna do with them? Posh's ability is that she can spot forgeries at a glance because she's been trained in spotting genuine articles, rich person behavior. Yeah, stop. Aw, Posh. Oh, Posh. Okay. What's everybody up to? Oh, look at Posh with the 2 inference. A broken USB? This can't be a coincidence. Who did this? And why? Evidence acquired. Shattered USB. Eek! This info hasn't been logged yet, right? I gotta tell everyone. Quick! Okay, that's the one time we hear this voice line. That voice line. How very intriguing, mused the girl, imitating the genius physics professor of a certain TV show. Also, the only time we hear that. A bloodstain? But whose blood is it? I need to analyze this. Quick. Evidence acquired. Bloodstain in shower. Awesome. Okay. Sometimes it feels like the investigation, it's like, well, I'm just like investigating, you know? Like I already did all of that in the in the preliminary investigation. Oh, wait, I forgot I couldn't make Watto inspect. That's okay. Now I can. Now I can. And then I'm probably gonna want to map wide movement him because he doesn't have a lot of natural movement. What's Doleful's inspection radius? Hell yeah! Max no, wait, yeah, max efficiency. Map wide? Yeah. I should map wide her too. What's her? Oh yeah, her inference score is high, so map wide her to Posh. Yippee! Doleful has X-ray vision. He's just like, I mean, he kind of does. He's like sensing the vibes. That's like real. The good weaponized PTSD. Oh, poor Doleful. Little thing. I think they'll be fine to do that. And then... I mean, I can move her right here. She just can't stay in there, right? Yeah, as long as she walks around, she's fine. She's literally just chilling. It doesn't even matter. Oh shit, I forgot about the MP in there. That's okay. 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 Oh, wait. Oh, well, Posh is just investigating. Okay, cool. Yeah, this map has a ton of things. This is new information. I've got to share it with everyone. Okay. Or wait, did she not automatically go back to inferring? I'll press her again just in case. This map has a lot of stuff, but like I feel like I got the strat down from the previous 4 investigations that now I'm able to like do it. Now I get it. Now I understand. Watto is so cute. He's so expressive and he's so smiley. Look at them working together for that -2. Okay, so he's going to have to inspect. Watto is going to have to... Watto, your low inference score, please. Please, what if we need you to infer? What if we need you to think, Watto? I think I need to move her 1. Assist. There we go. Sorry if the visuals are bugging out a bit. What the heck? I think they're kind of bugged. It's okay. That just means I have to do really good on this and not mess it up. Okay, Doleful. A 10 thinking, or an ideal having 10 in all stats. Honestly, yeah, that would be accurate. She's built different. Help. Yeah, I'm not sure what the screen tear is caused by. I'm so sorry. It's kind of bad. What the heck? What happened? If it continues after this investigation, I'll like unplug the switch and replug it in and see if that solves the issue. Oh, well, Watto's just standing here doing nothing. Oh, Watto-kun. But the implication of Ideal stats being all 10s because she can see the future makes Watto's stats being 2, 3, 2, and 6 still, even after all this time where he's been able to tell the future. It makes it really funny. He's also a fail boy, but that's okay. We love him for that. He's 1 too short. Crap. Yeah, he's just like that. She's just girl boss. Now this is a juicy bit of intel. Let me share it on my D-pad. Look at them, so cute. Look at them with the 12. Hell yeah. She's been a detective for 10 years. Give him a few years and his stats will be 1, 1, 1, 1. Why are you preying on his downfall when he's nothing but nice? Workaholic's wrist burns proved the cuffs shocked him. One could adjust the time of death by using a wristband to block them, observed the girl. Evidence acquired. Workaholic's body. I should report this data to everyone else, right? Or maybe not? No, better safe than sorry if I'm unsure. Okay, what do we have everybody doing? I don't think anybody can analyze. But I think I have stuff to analyze, so I'll do that next turn. I'm doing good, okay? I'm like max efficiency playing this. No, Mystic. It feels like I've been so long since I've seen like Mystic or Downtown. Oh my gosh. Like that feels like a whole totally different game at that point. It's like, it's been so long. Guys, I miss you. Okay, let's see here. Well, he needs to analyze something, right? Ooh, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Okay, there's only two things. Wait, yeah. Okay. And then he can move after he analyzes it, right? Or it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter, I don't think. Wait, but I have to stop him. Okay, cool. And then analyze. She really wants to go in the death square. She said, "Please, Berry, please, Berry, please, Watto-kun, please put me in the death square." That's gonna be like it's gonna require like 50 turns. No, yeah, he's literally, yeah, very talented. I'm still smiling at Posh's inference being so high though. I'm just bringing them all over here. It's just a party. They're all just hanging out around the death squares. That's okay. They can figure it out, right? They can figure it out with their scores, right? Okay, the memory chip is intact. There's a special method of triggering the collar saved on it. I'll do a thorough analysis and report back. Wait, he has one inference? Renegade? What? Oh, he can't see anything. He doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. This is new information. I've got to share it with everyone. Yeah, who has one inference? Somebody definitely does, or somebody did. Somebody was not. Somebody was. Me like looking at them. Now I'm just curious. Now I'm just judging these characters based off of their inference scores. Okay. 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 These bombs shouldn't be too much of a hassle as long as you pay attention. Time to put this naughty bear back in its toy box. Rowdy with her one analyzation, she could tell water from poison by licking it and realizing she's not dead yet. I mean, hey. Whatever works, right? I might have messed this up. I might not have enough turns. Oh, yeah, because I can't move Watto there. Crap. I can't move Teki there either. Well, I just need 2 turns. I think I'm gonna have, like, exactly the amount of turns. Well, wait, what are the redacted documents? Okay, they're just 1. Thank God. Oh my God, I'm gonna use the exact amount of turns. And Gourmet is just gonna kill all of the Death Square as well while we're all hanging out here. Well, well, this plebeian publication alludes to the manor's architect, named Meiko Aragi. No doubt they're famous for their vulgar taste. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Sniffy Whiffy says this is workaholic's blood, which means he was wounded prior to his being electrocuted and had to wash the blood off. If that's the case, the one who injured him must have been Renegade Detective, right? Okay, 20. Okay, we can handle that. We can handle that. We can handle it. Oh, doleful. Oh, doleful. He was invincible to SPX until it mattered. 9 support. Wah. Okay. Okay. Help. Okay, yeah, we're just burning through it. We'll be good, we'll be good. Look at her, she's so happy. She's so happy to be doing that. Okay. Wait, assistant 6. Oh. Wait. Inference 3. Inference 2. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I got it. I got it. I got it. Infer. Then move, and then assist. And then we could just... Oh, not assist, not assist. Infer. Then infer. And then... Ooh, assist. I know, the detective stat fans in chat. I love that. It makes my life so much easier. Yay, they did it. Unlike Workaholic, Renegade Detective's body isn't actually wounded. Did he die in totally different circumstances? Like, by chance or something? Aw, look at the little sprite. And then, 3 analysis? I wonder if that's enough. Oh wait, we don't need to, oh. We don't need to even do that. Okay. We're good. We're just good. We're just good. Look at her. Look at her. Okay. Infer. And then assist. There we go. Yippee! We did it with 2 turns left. Okay, I had an extra turn. I thought I would have 0 turns left. So I've checked every PC in here. They were forced to shut down, so they were all on when the outage hit. What if the culprit used them to trip the breaker? Look at that. Smooth like butter investigation. Easy. No worries. No worries at all. Okay. Yippee! We reconvened in the ground floor lobby after completing our investigation. At long last, we have made it to the surface. Though it's a hollow victory, so long as we're unable to make a distress call. Still, at least we're above ground now. If a rescue ship appears, we should be able to signal it. We've been cut off from communication for over a week, so help should arrive at any moment. It's good that we're back up here. There's just one problem. We still don't know how Workaholic and Renegade Detective died. It would be a major problem if the culprit is in fact one of us. We need to find the truth before help arrives. Yeah, you're right. Let's start by getting the facts of this case in order. I suppose the greatest mystery is, who was it that triggered Renegade's collar? It required 3 D-pads to send a command to his, correct? If Workaholic was one, who were the other 2? Let's refer to whomever secretly harbors these murderous thoughts toward Renegade Detective as Judases for now. To reiterate, the detonation necessitates 3 commands. If Workaholic sent one, we are left with 2. Meaning, there are 2 Judases apart from Workaholic, the girl said, hinting at a possibility she preferred not to consider. It's okay, Bookworm. I suspected that there were Judases among us too at first, but as I investigated, I realized I was wrong. No one here could have sent a command. Renegade fell for the culprit's scheme, fulfilling the secret conditions to trigger his collar. Secret conditions? What else was there besides sending those command words? The rules were hidden on that broken USB. One of us should be able to explain it. Techie, of course. He's so smart. Techie, you can explain it, right? Yes, that USB was found dropped in the facility. It contained the files that were taken from that PC in the lab, the ones regarding the callers. Whoever smashed the USB hoped to destroy it, but its actual storage space is so tiny that the data was still intact after the fact. Just what sort of guidelines does Renegade's caller have? The culprit used them to kill the man himself, did they not? Yes, the culprit understood these rules and predicted what steps Renegade would take. In order to kill Renegade, they were prepared to put their own life at stake. Literally. What? You couldn't possibly mean... What? What? Renegade Detective's killer was Workaholic. He's both a victim and a culprit in this case. He leveraged the rules by dying to detonate Renegade Detective's collar. He was such a hater. Like, I respect the commitment, like, so much. Like, that's, like, admirable. Because I don't think I could be that much of a hater. Like, even if I wanted to, you know? Bah, enough with this putting on airs. What, precisely, are these rules? If a detective designated as an observer died within a 10-meter radius of Renegade's D-pad, that would also trigger a command message. Observers have a chip implant that connects to their heartbeat. An automatic command is sent if they go into cardiopulmonary arrest. How positively ghastly! Just what are these observers anyway? I couldn't answer that, but I can speculate who they are based on all that's happened so far. First, there's Workaholic. There's no doubt he's at the center of all this. Then, there's me. Workaholic made that perfectly clear. You mean to say there's some manner of chip inside you? Yeah, I think. I was unconscious for a few days before waking up on the island. It could have been implanted then. Or actually, Workaholic knew, so it might have been implanted while I was captive 10 years ago. After all, the third person went through the same ordeal. Which means the third observer is... Yes, Ideal Detective. She threatened to detonate Renegade Detective's collar when he attacked me the first time we met. He was likely within 10 meters of where Ideal Detective was killed, so one command has already been triggered. Essentially, Renegade was destined to die after 2 more commands. Huh? But I thought Renegade Detective was pretty far away back when Ideal died. Not to mention, she's been dead for a week now. Does the command remain in effect? From what I recall, he might have been just barely in range. So either the command reached him, or she expected him to go rogue instead in advance. It's plausible for a detective to wind up trapped with a collared individual, just like we were, so once sent, the command probably wouldn't expire. Detonation requires 3 commands, 1 each from 3 observers total, meaning you'd need consent from all of them to trigger the collar. That would explain why Workaholic pushed so hard to persuade you, incompetent detective, the girl said, recollecting the events thus far. Huh? Wait a sec. If a command gets sent at the time of death, isn't something still off? Even if Ideal and Workaholic's commands were sent when they died, you'd still need another person, right? Wasn't that the reason Workaholic was pressuring you so much, incompetent? To try and get you to go along with the plan? Right. That's the tricky part. But the answer is easy, really. A normal command and one sent due to cardiopulmonary arrest are considered distinct from one another. So if you sent a command and then died afterward, you would essentially be sending 2 commands. Oh my god, come on! Where did you come across this information? I don't believe Workaholic ever spoke a single word of this, did he? Exactly. That was all part of his trap. Pressing me was a part of the plan too, I bet. Him not being able to detonate the collar without my help was just a lie to put Renegade off his guard. Literally such a hater. Literally such a hater. He probably had no clue that the collar would go off if Workaholic died nearby. Workaholic would be thrilled so long as he slew Renegade. Even if things took a grim turn and he were killed, this would allow him to strike back. It would appear that Workaholic's willingness to stake his life on this was no exaggeration. I have to wonder, did he intend to die from the very beginning? No, I don't think so. I think he tried to survive to the bitter end. Yeah, I agree. If he had always planned to give his life, he wouldn't have gone through so much trouble to commit that murder back in the dungeon. But I think Workaholic was so determined to put an end to Renegade that he was prepared for the slim chance they'd end up going to the grave together. But it'd all be in vain if Renegade knew how the commands work. Workaholic tried to keep him unaware by extracting the PC's data onto the USB. But as Workaholic feared, he was killed by Renegade, causing the latter to die in turn. Their fates remained entwined until the very end. Hold on a moment. If Renegade really did kill Workaholic, how did he go about it? Incompetent and I were locked in combat against Renegade right up until Workaholic was murdered. While I despise coming to Renegade's defense like this, I am reluctant to believe that he was able to trip the breakers or restrain Workaholic. The electrocution involved a very simple trick. You see, the culprit had a system in place to control the timing of the outage. Electrocution only requires an active current. In other words, you won't be shocked so long as the electricity isn't flowing. This case appears complex, but it's actually a fairly basic gimmick. The electrocution's timing was controlled by causing a blackout. This is the first investigation. I feel like I get it. That's right. The culprit controlled the timing of the electrocution by intentionally causing a blackout. The outage was certainly deliberate, but could one truly arrange an electrocution right in the middle of it? When the facility went dark, we were unable to see a thing without a light source. Such lowbrow intuition for one so high class, the girl said. Despite her vexation, she carries on with a benevolence rivaling the Virgin Mary's. Recall the condition Workaholic was found in. With him in handcuffs and doused in water, it would be easy to electrocute him. It would prove difficult to restrain a person in this manner. You would only have a few minutes from the breaker tripping to the lights returning. Perhaps so, but the culprit used a simple tool to create a setup that hindered electrocution. You know what was used, right, incompetent detective? Asked the girl, passing the buck as she so often did. The unexpected question startles me. But it's fine. I've been keeping up with our investigation, so a question like this is no problem at all. It was... You know, like... I feel like I relate to, like, Watto as the protagonist, because as he's learning, I'm learning, you know? Like, me and him are figuring out that we can sometimes understand stuff at the exact same time, and that's crazy. You know, maybe I don't have photographic memory of Workaholic like that, but you can set him as, you know, your desktop wallpaper, your phone lock screen, your phone home screen, you know. You can put him as a little widget on your phone. You can print him out, keep him in your wallet, you know. We can make it happen. The rubber glow-in-the-dark wristband. It was the rubber wristband on the floor nearby, wasn't it? Isn't that one of those visitor bands from the lab? Workaholic used one to unlock the doors. It seems strange for it to end up on the floor of the crime scene. Obviously, it's no coincidence. This wristband was instrumental to how the culprit electrocuted Workaholic. Before the outage, Workaholic was restrained while wearing the wristband. That way, it wouldn't matter if the current was on. The band would act as an insulator, stopping the electricity from reaching him. Then, while the power was out, the culprit removed the wristband, ensuring electrocution would occur once the power returned. The current flowed for minutes before we arrived. No amount of struggling would have staved off death, the girl said, complimenting Incompetent's theory. But there was a blackout, remember? How did they remove the wristband in the dark? The band is phosphorescent, just like that paint in the dungeon. It wouldn't have even been hard to locate him, even in the dark. Of course, in fact, tripping the breakers was part of their plan, too. The whole thing was orchestrated from the start. So whoever shut off the circuits is the culprit. Who was it that touched the distribution board and disrupted the power? The thing is, the breakers tripped on their own. I beg your pardon? That couldn't possibly be the case. A noblewoman such as myself may be ignorant in the ways of the world, but do not take me for a fool. Actually, it is possible. In fact, the lights in here are about to go out again shortly. What? Of their own volition? Her shocked sprite. She looks so genuinely, she's so cute. Doleful, can you reset the breakers? On it. After a moment, the room's lights flicker back on. See? You can cut off the power without messing with the breakers. Bah! Dispense with your shadowboating until... With your shadowboating? Bah! Dispense with your showboating and tell us how it works. In nobleman's terms, if you please. Urged on by Posh, I begin my explanation. When we turned on the lab's AC, the airstream moved the mouse, causing the PC to boot itself up, correct? I recall. The computer was asleep, but when the air conditioning jostled the mouse, it awoke. Your point being... Using the same principle, the culprit turned all the lab's PCs on at the same time. The AC in the lab is powerful. If the computers were all in sleep mode, isn't it possible for them all to wake up at the same time? For any appliance, it's the startup that consumes the most power. Turning on that many PCs at the same time caused a spike, tripping the breakers. Also, the AC has a feature where you can set it to switch on at a certain time. Arrange things beforehand, and all you'd have to do is wait. I see. By using this maneuver, one could trigger a blackout whenever they so wished. Thus, Renegade Detective laid this trap, murdering Workaholic while fighting us to create an alibi. But not long after, he himself met a cruel end. What happened to Renegade Detective, Incompetent? Tell us the full story. Okay, I'll go over it all from the beginning. Everything that brought about this bizarre case that occurred simultaneously on multiple floors. We presumed these cases were linked, but in truth, they're completely separate events, ultimately resulting in two connected deaths. First off, Workaholic, one of the victims, sent a command so he could kill Renegade, even in the event of his own death. According to the rules, if I had also sent a command, or if Workaholic's heart stopped, Renegade's collar would detonate. Unaware of all this, Renegade Detective started to corral us and Workaholic. Given the state of the body, Renegade clashed with Workaholic and tied him up somewhere before luring us and using an announcement. Once Posh was successfully taken hostage, he began making preparations to shut off the breakers and electrocute Workaholic. It was a simple trick. He cuffed the unconscious Workaholic, using the wristband as an insulator. Then, he attached the wires to the cuffs. Remove the band, and Workaholic would fry. All he had to do to carry out his scheme was lure in and fight Incompetent until the breakers tripped. The appalling actions he directed at Incompetent were merely a gambit with which to divide our ranks. Ultimately, we failed to capitalize on our superior numbers, causing our efforts to be disjointed. Yeah, he had us on a string the whole time. As planned, the breaker shut off, and Renegade used that opening to slip away. From there, he hurried to where Workaholic was tied up. He located the glowing band, slipped it off Workaholic's arm, went to the distribution board, and reset the breaker. And then, with no insulation, Workaholic was helplessly electrocuted. At the same moment, power went off to the fire hydrant, triggering the alarm, right? Maybe the alarm going off was a coincidence. Renegade had plenty of callers with him, right? It could be that he originally planned to lead us around by making them explode. Either way, he used that drawn-out murder method as a means of getting our attention, concluded the girl. Exactly. Just like the culprit intended, we were distracted by the alarm and slow to realize that Renegade was riding the elevator to the surface. But Renegade Detective never figured out that killing Workaholic would fulfill the conditions to trigger his collar. As a result, he himself died, creating a case built on chain reactions, their differing goals aligned, forming a bizarre picture for us to piece together. Still, doesn't that leave the actual manner of Renegade's death in question? You said so before our investigation. Renegade's death was not due to the collar's detonation, but by his head getting stuck in the elevator, no? The elevator doors wouldn't budge, probably because it was broken. We had to force them apart when it arrived on this floor too, right? Renegade must have faced the same situation. I see. Having lost an arm, he used the collars to blow it open. Yeah, but he only managed to make a small gap and struggled through it. At the same time, the elevator began to move, and he perished. Oddly foolish final moments for a man like him. I love that. That's so, that's embarrassing. Like, an embarrassing way to die is it being completely accidental and, out of his control. I'm sure that even Renegade would panic then. He also left that strange note on the elevator button. Warning, this button may cause death. And, unlike us, he didn't know that he had time before his collar exploded. It makes sense that he would lose his cool and start acting out. Essentially, each of these two deaths was inadvertently caused by the other. It seemed like an unsolvable double murder at first, but the perpetrator unwittingly took their own life when they killed Workaholic. The culprit is obvious. This makes me so sad to look at all of the dead people. Oh my gosh, there's nobody left. That's right. Renegade Detective is the culprit responsible for both murders. Suddenly, The face Renegade wore in death flashes through my mind. Renegade Detective was smiling. He should have been panicking as his doom drew near. That'd explain why he did something so illogical. But his satisfied expression gives me pause. Is my theory actually right? If Renegade Detective's the culprit, this case is closed. The most suspicious person of all got what was coming to him. Death. Workaholic and Renegade. Their bond ended in mutual destruction. It leaves a bitter taste. But from here, all we need to do is wait for help without any further mishaps. It's the best possible outcome for us. So why am I still so uneasy? Oh, right. I realize why my concern lingers. It's my lack of faith in my own abilities. In the end, I still have no confidence. Until now, Holmes had always been there to keep me afloat. When I was uncertain, she'd smile and tell me it was okay. She was my courage. But now she's nowhere to be found. Not having her here makes it really hit home just how much support she gave me. Holmes, is my line of reasoning correct here? Please, tell me. Show yourself to me, Holmes. Please. Just then, sparks flare past my eyes, and my perfectly clear vision goes white. What am I looking at? If this is the vision at the end of the tunnel, then it would seem you won't be carrying on the ideal detective name after all. I hear the voice of someone I've longed to see. Saika. That name from so long ago slips past my lips. Holmes offers a sweet smile in reply. I was gonna cry. I started to like tear up a little bit when he called her that. I was like, man. He's just so happy to see her. Oh, good. You're finally calling me by that name. You ought to remember now. You were never so professional around me. It always felt off, like someone was constantly poking at my ribs. Why were you gone for so long? And where is this? No, wait! No, wait! No, wait! No, wait! No. I don't know if I can handle this right now. No. I told you at the beginning, didn't I? My final regrets birthed me as a residual memory. You protected me once, so I took your place, assuming the mantle of ideal detective that was intended to fall on your shoulders. But alas, I lost to the Duke, slain before I could achieve my aims. And now, in spite of all that you lack, you are to become ideal detective once more. Ultimately, I am a product of my own guilt. As such, you remembering everything has now relieved me of my duty. My downtime has been steadily increasing as you regain your memories. My existence continues to fade as my mission nears completion. Soon, my consciousness will be completely gone, and never more will we be able to speak. To put it poetically, I shall suffer a second death. Second death? Does that mean we'll never get to meet again? I wonder. Wait, but I finally remembered who you are. This isn't fair. I reached my hand out to touch Saika. but my hand slipped through her like I'm grasping at fog. I can see her so clearly, yet I can't even feel her. What? But I was able to touch you before, in my dreams. Don't be sad, Watto. In reality, I died after sharing only a few words with you. I detested the denouement for showing nothing but tragedy. Still, it did let us see each other one last time. So for that, I'm thankful. No, don't go yet, Saika. I still have so much to learn as a detective. There's so much more I want to talk with you about. Stay with me. Keep teaching me. Oh, Watto. How sly of you. Here I was prepared to die, but at the last minute, you make me want to linger on. Saika stretches her hand toward my face. I can't read this because I'm crying. It's transparent, like glass. The scenery beyond us is visible in her tearful eyes. But this is no time for crying. What you're about to see is a potential tragedy waiting to happen. I can't even, like, process this right now. Like, I can't even process the CG that's on the screen right now. I cried a little bit. I cried a little bit. I cried a little bit. Oh my goodness. I turn, only to be confronted by mountains of corpses, more than I've ever seen before. What kind of vision is this? It's far different from any other premonition I've had. This vivid collage of death borders on the fantastical. All these bodies, what happened? As there is nothing to be gleaned from the bodies, this is only likely a glimpse of calamity. But if nothing changes, many will surely die in time. This is the future I saw while investigating the Quartering Duke. It's precisely why I moved with haste to usher everyone to HQ. The Quartering Duke must have predicted I would make that call. But Renegade's dead. Wasn't he the prime suspect? The Quartering Duke should be defeated. So how? That you can see this vision is answer enough. You feel it too, deep down, don't you? You know the Quartering Duke wouldn't be so easily killed. I can't argue back. I know it to be true. My hunch became certainty the moment I saw the departed Renegade's face. The Quartering Duke lives. The case will continue if he escapes the island. All of the tragedies that befell us would be for naught. These bodies are the Quartering Duke's victims, aren't they? Yes, I believe so. Each of them may die in different ways, but there's no doubt that a mountain of corpses will be left in his wake. This possible tragedy has been thrust before you, the kind you may rather not even think about. Such is the denouement's binding curse. Those who possess it can never avert their eyes from tragedy. They are obligated to reverse it. There may even come a day when you'll wish you had been killed by Renegade Detective. Saika chuckles as if to intimidate me. So tell me, Watto, what will you do? Like I told you before, I can no longer help you. You would have to face the tragedies to come on your own. The kinds you've seen on Morgue would become regular events. Each day would be harsh with precious little joy. Even life as Watto Hojo would be challenging. Yet, despite all that, Are you still prepared to take on the role of ideal detective? Saika's purple eyes pierced through me. When I first arrived here, I wouldn't have been able to answer. I knew nothing back then. I'd even forgotten my own past. I didn't even realize I was experiencing a reunion 10 years in the making. In fact, for all that time, I'd believed my false memories. I thought I couldn't save her. I led a carefree life that forced a cruel fate on Saika. Now that I remember it all, I can't fathom fleeing from it. I refuse to. Because above all else, there's no way I'm letting you die, Saika. Now I see what Renegade Detective meant. In the end, I failed to protect you, Saika. And now it turns out that I'll have to watch you die again. But I refuse to let you go. I've made up my mind. I'm taking responsibility for your life, including the fate you were made to bear. Are you sure? It isn't too late to turn back. My words, your remembered past, the denouement, you could excuse it all as a delusion and return to life as you knew it, in all its normality. In the face of all that, are you truly still committed to being a detective? I am. I'll dedicate my life to being a detective. I know it's easier to call it quits, but I'm sick of shielding my eyes from every tragedy. I may still be a rookie, and I may never reach the heights you did, Saika, but I'll use the denouement to play my part as ideal detective. Very well. You know everything now, yet you still choose to walk the cruelest path. Nothing's changed in the past 10 years. You're still an utter fool, shouldering it all alone. Someday, you'll surely come to regret this. Though, I suppose warning you won't do much good. I learned long ago how stubborn you are. But that's precisely why I admire you so. Saika. Saika's body grows hazy, like a fine mist. I reach out, but she still escapes my grasp. I finally caught up to her, and yet now, I can't even touch her. I'll be perfectly frank, Wato. I'd hoped you wouldn't remember anything. If you hadn't, my regrets would have lingered, allowing me to stay by your side forever. That way, you'd never have to face your dark past. Though, of course, you would never wish for such a thing. So that's why you didn't tell me what happened 10 years ago. Yes, I'm quite the selfish woman, aren't I? Ultimately, I used you for my own purposes, even up to this very moment. I pray that you resent me. From the very start, I was never once the detective you so revered. As if I could ever hold that against you. You know better than anyone how hard it is to bear the title of ideal detective. That's why you wanted to hide my past as the original ideal detective and the fact that you had taken my place. Am I right? You haven't changed either. Your kind-hearted nature makes you throw yourself into the line of fire for the sake of others. I'm so sorry I couldn't remember until now. But all the same, you never stopped looking out for me, even once. So, thank you, Saika. Saika's expression flickers as tears well up in her eyes. Then, her face crinkles into a broad smile. And I was being so calculating, too. I never hoped for any gratitude, but I'm a right mess after hearing you say all that. The role of ideal detective is no ordinary path. It's true. You will encounter far more tragedy than what you've already witnessed. Still, given who you are, you'll be just fine. No matter what adversity befalls you, you'll find a way to reverse it. As the greatest of detectives. Saika continues to dissipate, seemingly melting into the world around her. Here's my final word of advice, as one once cast as the ideal detective. The denouement does not merely predict the future. Rather, it sees all. Visit a place you've been before, and you'll likely discover something new. Reflect upon the events of this past week, and use your power to find the truth. That's elementary, right, Holmes? It's been fun playing legendary detective with you, Watto. Ultimately, I failed to save Saika. By the time I remembered it all, it was far too late. I never got to repay her. That leaves only one thing left for me to do. Yes, time to strike back. It's up to you. Our home is threatened by the most atrocious tragedy yet. You must reverse the case of the Quartering Duke. Right. It's a promise. I swear to pave a way and resolve the Quartering Duke incidents. I make this vow to one I cannot see. The one who is everything to me. Man. That was a lot. There's like tears running down my face. That was a lot. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. But like Watto, I must continue on. But incompetent. Why did you suddenly go catatonic? Oh, sorry. How long have I been out of it? A minute, perhaps. Whatever is the matter? A lack of sleep or the like? Yeah, something along those lines. Maybe I had one of those waking dreams just now? Then again, whatever it was doesn't really matter. It isn't going to change what I have to do. Posh, I need you to trust me. Please. Incompetent? I don't care if that was a dream, an illusion, or even a hallucination. All I know for certain is that it's too early to say we've resolved these paradox killings. I said it was Renegade who killed Workaholic, but I realize now that it's too early to draw that conclusion. Pardon? What are you suggesting? By any and all accounts, Renegade Detective simply must be the culprit, no? Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that points to that fact. But there's one part of it that just doesn't make any sense. Something that makes no sense? Renegade was smiling when he died. But you'd think his immediate doom would have been something regrettable for him. He's fixated on taking responsibility for the lives he claims. He should have been in anguish over dying so soon after killing Workaholic. That is true, but... It's because Renegade Detective tried so hard to kill me that I understand his mentality so well. The irony is almost too much. But much like Saika in my dream just now, the smile on his lifeless face showed not a single sign of regret. Something must have happened right before he died to give him that satisfaction. But there's no actual grounds for that, is there? One false step, and we may just walk into a trap laid by the enemy. And yet you still want us to keep investigating? You must be pretty convinced about something. We ask that you show us something concrete, demanded the girl. I'm sorry, but Dolful is right. I don't have a solid basis for this. All I can say is that my detective senses are going off. Mystic taught me that there's a reason behind everything. It's been so long since we've seen him. Hey. Wah. Rowdy encouraged me to never waver once my mind is set. And thanks to Armor, I discovered how to find the strength to hold fast. Everything I've learned on Morgue is how I know, even if it's just a vague inkling for now, that there's hidden mystery behind Renegade's death. So until help arrives, will you aid me in this for just a bit longer? I need time to think Renegade's death over. No, to think about everything that's happened here on this island. Everyone falls silent at my petition. Going off a totally unfounded hunch ought to disqualify me as a detective. Back when I first arrived, I'm sure they'd all have laughed at me. However, for you, incompetent, I'll lend my cooperation. I have total faith in your words, the girl said, offering a smile. I'm liking that look in your eyes, incompetent. So sure, your honorary big sis is here to help. Let's catch that quartering duke together. As a matter of fact, I agree with you, incompetent. Even if there are risks involved, we need to keep investigating to ensure no one died in vain. Whatever you decide, I trust you, incompetent. Just call on me when you need my abilities. Need I remind you that I am the chief here? You ragtags and bobtails always forget your place. But very well. It would be inexcusable for a superior to disregard an eager subordinate. And so, I shall assist you in my capacity as chief. Know that we will uncover the truth, for the sake of all who have perished. Everyone, thank you. I'm still so inexperienced. I can never call myself an ideal detective. Incompetent is a much, much more appropriate word for me. But I'm not alone. I have friends I can trust. We've survived through life and death ordeals together, after all. Even as we go up against the most fearsome serial killer of all time, I'm not afraid, so long as they're with me. Alright, guys. It's time to reverse every tragedy that's occurred on this island. With that, we make the decision to revisit every case that's happened up till now. But not one moment later, we receive an unexpected transmission. Everyone, it's a message from DA headquarters. Huh? But I thought we had no signal. There must be a ship equipped with a comm system near the island. Thank goodness we made our way up to the surface. I'll open the message up right away. Way, so cute. Ooh. Wow, so cute. So cute, so cute. Everyone clusters around Techie, looking at the laptop balanced atop his knees. Displayed on the screen is a brief, blunt order. There's no further need to investigate the quartering duke case? Help is on the way, so we're to sit here and do nothing? Perhaps we had yet to see how deeply the malice surrounding the quartering duke killing swirls. That made me so happy. That made me so happy. Good morning, evening, and day, citizens. 'Tis I, your grace, the courting duke, still without any past felonies on my record. I've been live casting this quartering corner for days now, But sadly, the next installment will be our last. Soon, I'll be back to normal Dukehood. For a for a momentous final episode, I'll discuss the talk of the town. Those obsessive stalkers of mine, the Detective Alliance. They're seen as heroes online, with folks touting them as defenders of justice. But who are they really? You're dying to know, huh? Loyal viewers? To put it simply, they're what shits out. Their criminal organization was formerly another, one sanctioned to investigate the Dayless Night. It may seem hypocritical, but their evil sickens me. 10 years ago, they kidnapped children for human experiments to artificially create exceptional detectives, such as the famed Ideal Detective. I, too, was subjected to the horrors of the secret police, the DA's precursor, and gained superhuman powers. Then, I waited a decade to exact revenge. Like, scratching my head, like... When the opportunity finally came, Your Grace made meticulous plans to annihilate them all, plans which I'm carrying out as we speak. I'm sure their HQ is the very picture of chaos right about now. Just the thought of it strikes my heart like breaking a vase. What? Don't buy it? Yeah, fine. I get it. Seeing is believing. Thankfully, Your Grace resides in reality. So now, I'm scrambling around their HQ. In our next installment, I promise to present you with the emotionally riveting and exceptionally damning evidence I found there. This is the moment where the heroes of justice become the foulest villains this world has ever known. Best entertainment ever, am I right? To all the ladies and gentlemen of the Alliance tuning in, if you hope to stop Your Grace, then I invite you to do so. Not that you'll be able to. I'm on his side. I'm on the Quartering Duke's side. Please. I trust you. I trust you. I believe you. We finally received word from headquarters. They urged all the detectives still remaining on the island to not investigate any further. Attached to the message is a video of the Quartering Duke's latest irreverent broadcast. Why include this video? Could this mean the Duke's on the island with us right now? It seems pretty likely. That's the most obvious reason they'd request us to stop investigating. Either that, or HQ has gotten their hands on some important intel. What kind of intel, exactly? What would make them go out of their way to stop us from investigating like this? I believe this message came directly from founding detective Vidoc, the Alliance's institutor and highest-ranking detective. It's utterly devoid of humanity, as per usual, to think he didn't include even a single word of concern for those of us remaining. So, what shall we do now? Judging by the live cast, it's possible that the Duke is among us. It may be in our best interest not to be hasty, the girl said sourly. Yeah, it's serious enough for HQ to contact us, so they must have a good reason. Even so, we can't sit idly by. Let's keep up the search like we planned. Oh, true to form, my #1 subordinate. A most excellent remark. We've no obligation to obey their orders. Come now, let us resume our investigation. Will that really be okay? The girl asked in full earnest. Why, of course, naturally. Vidoc may be a remarkable detective, but as a person, he's outright heartless. We've lost so many allies, yet we're expected to stand by and twiddle our thumbs? Poppycock, I say. I'm with Posh on this. As it stands, our experiences on this island hold far too many unresolved questions. For example, why bother summoning us detectives here to begin with? Why didn't the staff at Snark's resist the attack? And who actually killed Senior Detective? The Alliance can tell us no as many times as they want. We have to keep moving forward, for the sake of all those that we've lost. Okay. Let's cool our heads a bit. Gourmet approaches the group, carrying a tray with enough soup for everyone. Enthusiasm is good, but not when we're running on empty. With a new phase of our investigation underway, why don't we refuel first? Good point. Thanks, Gourmet. Oh my, is this new Gun brand? I simply adore their matsutake soup. I found some bread too. Let me go toast it. In the meantime, feel free to have a bowl and warm yourselves up. We graciously accept the meal, helping ourselves to the soup as we lounge on the lobby sofas. The mushroom's flavor is pungent, blending in nicely with the bonito flakes in the kombu broth. A pleasant feeling envelops my tired body. My mind starts wandering. Either that, or I must really be spent, the way my eyes start to droop. But then I notice the others slumped against the sofas, already sound asleep. Wait, what? Don't tell me. An alarm bell goes off in my head, but nonetheless, my consciousness remains unroused as my eyelids grow heavier still. Through my hazy field of vision, I spot Gourmet in the distance. I can only vaguely make out her expression, but even so, I feel an intensity about her that I've never seen before. You drugged the soup? What? What? Sorry, incompetent. This, too, is for the greater good. Those are the last words I hear before my consciousness fades to nothing. I awake with my head in agony. Seems I keeled over and passed out on the sofa. My arm is still numb and asleep. With a start, I immediately recall what had just happened prior. Oh, right. Gourmet, why did you put us to sleep with that soup? Give me a chance to explain. Gourmet is seated on the sofa opposite me, wearing her usual gentle smile. The other detectives gradually come to, probably thanks to all my yelling. But that's my tuna salad. Huh? Where's my sandwich? A pain from the moment she awakens. Give me a break, the girl grumbled as she rubbed her groggy eyes. What? Did I fall asleep? Why does my chest feel all funny? Eek! Isn't this one of those collars that Renegade was wearing? Gourmet! Spot on, Doleful. Such a smart guess. You make your big sister so proud. Following suit, I inspect my own chest and find a device similar to Renegade's clamped onto me. Unlike the one Renegade had used on Posh, this particular device seems much harder to remove. I helped myself to Renegade's spoils and attached those collars to you while you were dozing away. Then, I borrowed Incompetent's D-pad and sent a command, so they'll detonate after 2 more entries. Why are you doing this? Don't tell me you're the quartering Duke? I don't know what you're thinking, but even if you've collared us, it's pointless when you've no means of issuing the remaining commands. Incompetent is the only authorized observer at present. We never recovered Ideal or her D-pad, and the electrocution shorted out workaholics. Without the requisite commands, these collars are mere accessories, an empty threat. Actually, you're wrong. It wasn't Ideal who issued a command to Renegade. It was me. What? I blurred out in spite of myself. It's true. We had just assumed Holmes was an observer, but never found any evidence proving that. To think Gourmet had been one all along. At that moment, the device on my chest beeps, as if to mock my revelation. Hear that? That was your caller receiving a new command. As you can see, I am indeed an observer authorized to issue them as I please. Just one more command, and you all go boom! If my heart stops and pulls that final trigger, it's curtains for everyone. Eek! Why would you do something so... Being an observer means you hold an executive position in the Alliance, like Workaholic did. Are you here on orders from HQ, by any chance? From Alliance headquarters? Don't be Excellent guess, Techie. That's exactly right. Yep. Same as Ideal and Workaholic, I'm involved with the DA's management. I'm more or less the coordinator of our anti-Duke conference here. My role was simple. I was to blend into the group, weed out anyone suspicious, and restrain them if needed. No killing involved, unlike Workaholic. But why were you a coordinator? Did you already suspect the quartering Duke was one of us? Yep, exactly. Barring a few exceptions, each member here possesses special abilities and would have been below age 10 at the time of the experiments. According to our past data, there was no doubt the Duke was among the group of detectives who were brought to this island. How can you be so confident that the quartering Duke is part of the Alliance? The girl asked. Good question. It's because, without fail, every location where the Duke's victims were found had been previously investigated by the DA. What? Still, there were no commonalities between the members dispatched to those areas, leaving us with nothing that linked to the Duke directly. Why would you keep such an important fact to yourself the whole time? To avoid causing a commotion. Vague, inconclusive intel can only lead to unnecessary chaos, right? If you learned without a doubt that the Duke was among us, all hell would break loose. During that first case with Senior, I was afraid that the Duke's presence in our group would be brought to light, but Ideal's follow-up came to the rescue. That's true enough. We'd already been jumping at our own shadows. Had we started pointing fingers, our teamwork would have crumbled. Which is exactly why Psycho suggested that the Duke could have still been lurking in the manor. I'm grasping the situation now, but, what's the deal with these callers? Are you really going to obey HQ's orders and force us to wait here until backup arrives? Don't worry, incompetent. It's actually just the opposite. Come again? We're ignoring HQ's orders. We have 1 day until backup arrives, so let's root out that quartering Duke. But if we fail, I'm taking all of you down with me. I'm not letting the quartering Duke off this island, even if it costs me my life. What do you mean by that? She intends to detonate these collars if it's the last thing she ever does, the girl said, glaring daggers at Gourmet Detective. I misjudged you before. What reason is there to resort to such drastic measures? It isn't as if we would run or hide. Why not explain the situation rather than threaten us outright? The girl questioned angrily. Sorry, Bookworm. I didn't feel that alone would cut it. You taught me something before, incompetent. Me? What was it? To never waver with my convictions. Ever since losing Rowdy, I've vowed to kill the Duke, no matter the cost. Oh my god. Look at her. Gourmet cracks a smile even colder than ice. The lights left her eyes. As her mouth curls upward, she seems almost crazed. Truth is,
Workaholic contacted me via D-pad on our first night in the underground research facility. He asked me to send a command to Renegade's caller. I complied at once. There was a decent chance Renegade was the Duke. Plus, he was ultimately responsible for Rowdy's death. Oh, and the reason Workaholic was in such a sorry state when he died is because I had to punish the one who actually committed the deed, of course. Oh my god. She admits these horrific facts like it's nothing. She always seems so serene. I'm shocked by the brutality lurking beneath the facade. Why are you going to such extremes? Rowdy, she wouldn't have wanted this. Yes, I know. But this is for my own satisfaction. She wasn't a candidate for being the Duke, but when she asked to come, I couldn't say no. I brought her to morgue, so now I've got to repent however I can. More than anything, though, I want to prevent another Dayless Night incident from occurring. Prevent another Dayless Night incident? That's right. Renegade did mention you were a victim of it yourself. But how is that related? Ah, so you knew. Yep, that's right. I still haven't been able to forget how tragic it all was. Due to the terrorist attack that day, I wound up pinned down under rubble for around half a month. I survived by eating dirt, rubber, iron, anything. Everyone else trapped with me had died, and even now, my stomach still pangs with constant hunger. Never again. I won't accept another disaster like that, robbing people of their freedom to eat with relish. We can't allow tragedy to repeat itself. So under no circumstances am I letting the Duke off this island. Who cares what HQ has to say? I'm finding him, and you're all going to help. Gourmet dons a deadly serious expression. Yet, in spite of that, Posh approaches her meekly, as I wonder what she means to do. She slapped her! Posh forcefully smacks Gourmet across the face. This is no time to be stating the obvious. Posh. We were already determined to risk our lives in pursuit of the Duke without your orders. Even going so far as to accessorize us so crudely. You busybody, you. That's Posh for you. We had all been cowed by Gourmet's intimidating aura, but now we can't help ourselves from laughing. Posh is absolutely right. I said so too, didn't I? From the moment we received HQ's orders, I had no intention of following them. You've made your resolve crystal clear, Gourmet. Let's corner the Duke before our time runs out, by any means necessary. I get where you're coming from, Gourmet, but these callers are dangerous. We don't even know for sure that the Duke is here. You think it's someone else? Could another person still be on this island? It's possible. Not to mention, someone we thought had died could still be alive, right? This is the quartering Duke we're talking about. We shouldn't be surprised by any unexpected twists. As doleful detective stated, your actions have been far too risky, the girl said with a sigh of exasperation. But I'm glad you've revealed your true nature. Something about you seemed off. Let's continue our search till the end, Gourmet detective. You guys... I expected as much, but it seems we're all in agreement. I'll help too, Gourmet. I won't let you or anyone else die. In light of that, though, will you share whatever you can tell us about the Duke? You got it. Sorry for tricking you all. As I said, there's no doubt the Duke was among the detectives called to this meeting. Records from the secret police's experiments confirm this much. Title aside, their gender is unknown. No photos of them remain, and they likely had cosmetic surgery, seeing as even Workaholic only recognized Renegade. So, essentially, you know absolutely nothing? Easy, now. That was probably the reason this meeting was called to order in the first place. Non-binary slay. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, incompetent. We have very few leads to go off, so suffice it to say, I'm also on edge. I don't know why HQ ordered we stop, but I refuse to sit idly by. Even if it meant threatening you all, I had to keep this investigation going. If we're looking for clues, maybe we can start there, said the girl, pointing outside. What? Outside? I follow her pointer finger and finally come to a vital realization. That black SPX near the heliport is gone? Yes. We should be able to look around outside now, correct? Yeah. Good looking out, Bookworm. We can always count on you. Heh. The girl chuckled, puffing out her chest with pride. It's still light out, so we shouldn't be caught off guard. Yeah, I'm not sensing any threats at the moment, either. We should be safe if we head out now. With how massive that SPX is, we should notice it first. But nevertheless, let's keep a close watch on our surroundings, shall we? Where are we headed first? Is it not obvious? Posh lets out a sigh before continuing. Our first priority is recovering Ideal's body. She's a lady, after all. Leaving her exposed to the elements is unthinkable. Why, pray tell, is your jaw agape? No, it's just that you're not usually so thoughtful. It was a little shocking, is all. You may be a fool, but you're surprisingly empathetic. Though a fool regardless, said the girl, offering Posh her highest praise. Beg pardon? Who's calling whom a fool, you fool? It totally slipped my mind. Saika's been out there ever since she was dismembered. She's probably in a terrible state, considering that it's been over a week, but I still want to give her a proper burial. Not out of professional obligation, but because she's my friend. Thanks, Posh. I'll lend a hand too. It'd make me happy if we could keep Ideal's body safe until backup arrives. No trouble at all. We will fetch her at once. Now, follow my lead, everyone. With Posh at the forefront, we waste no time exiting the research facility. I made some good allies in the end, Saika. I'm sorry for being so reckless, but come what may, I swear to avenge you. "22 hours remain until our collars detonate." It's been far too long. The blue skies, the warmth of the sun, the cool summer breeze caressing my skin. How wonderfully refreshing. Posh, you may want to keep your voice down. Going outside excites her this much? She may as well be a dog, the girl quipped, sighing with disgust. Wah, dog girl Posh. She's a little Pomeranian. She's a little, like, blonde Pomeranian. That's what I see her as. Nevertheless, Posh takes the lead, laughing in high spirits as we walk out of the building. It's our first time outside in about a week. While Posh's behavior may seem over the top, I honestly feel like jumping for joy myself. I'm sure the others must feel the same. They've all got some much-needed color on their faces compared to when we were in the facility. Okay, yeah. I'm not sensing that black SPX. Maybe it's circling the manor like it was when we first got here. Alright, then let's follow the mountain path up ahead and search for Holmes's body. Smells like it rained a bit ago. That must be why the ground has some give to it. My wheels just keep spinning in place. Would anyone mind giving me a push? Sure, no problem. Leave it to your big sis. Gourmet pushes Techie's chair happily as they continue onward together. Nice. I wondered what would become of our team, but it seems all the commotion with the collars earlier hasn't affected things too much. Even so, Gourmet is resolute. If backup arrives before we can finish our investigation, I think she's serious about detonating these collars. No matter what it takes, we need to find a clue to the Duke's true identity before that time arrives. We keep our eyes peeled as we head toward the mountain road, but to no avail. Before long, we arrive at the fateful path where we fought off the Black SPX. 1 week ago, in this very spot, Saika was... Incompetent? You okay there? Doleful supports me as I begin to stagger. Thanks, Doleful. I've been psyching myself up, but coming back here really hits hard. Yeah, when I think about what happened that night, my chest feels like it's about to burst. It's already been over a week, since Ideal was killed by that SPX, I mean. Thinking back, all this turmoil really started with Saika's sudden demise. And now, here we are, 7 days later. Downtown's phantom killing, workaholic semi-sealed cell, renegade scheme in the maze, the Paradox murders in the underground facility. That's 4 mysteries solved. Back then, we didn't know that Black Mech was an SPX sentry, nor did we know about the existence of the secret police. But things are different now. We should be able to solve the riddles we couldn't before. Let's find the truth and avenge our friends. Yeah, let's. Incompetent. The strangest thing happened. Posh, who had gone off ahead, suddenly comes racing back with a fretful expression. I found what appears to be traces of blood, but Ideal's body, the target of our recovery mission, is nowhere to be seen. Holmes's body is gone? Why? Her blood's still there, so how? There's no scent of rot either. She was likely carried off either before or during the rain. The body didn't leave any trails when it was moved, so the blood was probably completely dry already. Which means it must have happened after we'd been locked in the manor for 3 days or more. No, with the rain, it would have been 2 at most. But by whom? For what purpose? Is there a chance that, perhaps, Ideal Detective's death was staged? Bookworm, who had been standing a fair distance back as to avoid seeing the body, now comes striding toward me. In mysteries, it's not unheard of for the one killed in the prologue to be the mastermind all along, said the girl, slightly colored by bias. Just one moment, Bookworm. You mustn't say things so heedlessly. As far as I'm aware, Ideal really was killed. The scent of blood is undeniable. I may have been a ways off, but I don't think I'm wrong. I'm with them. There's no question that Ideal got sliced all over. It's hard to imagine she could survive with wounds like those. Plus, we have Armor's word to go off. I witnessed the moment she died with my own eyes. Her death was too intense, too vivid to question. There's no way I saw it wrong. It wasn't faked. But one thing's for certain. The body's gone. Just who could have moved it? And to what end? We searched the area around the bloodstains, but nothing sticks out. Though I'd already figured as much, it doesn't seem the body is anywhere nearby. Our investigation has already hit a snag. We've got 21 hours until the rescue team arrives. Let's hurry and find whoever carried off Ideal. If there's a culprit besides us, killing us with these colors would be senseless. We'll lend you our aid regardless, so release us already. Sorry, no can do. It's true that the quartering Duke may not be one of us, but if he is, I'd be letting him go from right under my nose. Unless we discover the Duke's true identity, none of us are leaving this place alive. That fact won't change no matter how much I adore you all. Why don't we just resume our investigation after leaving morgue? Sure, we're all suspects, but couldn't we just weed out the culprit among us? Would that it were so simple. Even after all we've been through, we still haven't learned a thing about the quartering Duke case, have we? All we know is that Renegade killed Workaholic, then died himself. As it stands, it'll be assumed that Renegade was the Duke. Case closed. Maybe that's for the best. Thinking back, Renegade already was the most likely candidate for being the Duke anyway. No one else seems suspicious, so I don't think there's much we can do about him getting pegged as the culprit. True enough, he's definitely the most convincing option. He'd also be the easiest person to present to the public, a former murderer masterminding a new incident. But that's exactly my point. Things will end with Renegade branded as the quartering Duke, all without confirming the actual truth of the matter. What are you talking about? Wouldn't it be irresponsible to do that without verifying all the facts first? No, I'm afraid it isn't unlikely. The scale of this incident makes it undesirable for officials to wave it off and admit they were baffled. It's quite conceivable that they would settle for a passable, if remiss, conclusion, so as to save face as an organization and stem nationwide panic. You're kidding me. What kind of detectives would do something like that? It's what all detectives do, incompetent. You know about the Pinkertons, right? This line of work involves plenty that can't be discussed openly, so obscuring the truth isn't unheard of. Real-life detectives aren't like the characters you read about in novels. They aren't putting on a show with brilliant statements of fact. But... Yesterday, I was shown a horrific vision of the quartering Duke's future victims. A half-baked explanation won't be enough to stop him. In fact, he could take advantage of the DA's misinformation to cause further havoc unchecked. Gourmet's concern is definitely warranted. In short, if we don't find a clue pertaining to the Duke's identity before help arrives, the true mastermind may get away scot-free, said the girl. These callers are plan B to keep the Duke from leaving the island. You're willing to literally give your life to stop him, huh, Gourmet? You bet I am. Hate me for it all you want. Try to outsmart or even kill me if you've got what it takes. It doesn't matter. I'm dragging you all down with me. I want to fight for the sake of the world, for the sake of everyone we've lost. We won't quit now. Not for anything. I swear, we'll uncover the truth of the quartering Duke, come hell or high water. And come they will. There are only 24 hours left for us to uncover the truth. We need to find the Duke by any means necessary. To do that, there's one place we should start. For now, let's figure out where Holmes's body disappeared to. The culprit didn't just vanish into thin air. They came here and took her elsewhere. So there must be some clue pointing to their current whereabouts. At my behest... Why did I start talking like posh? It was the word behest. I was like, oh yeah, it must be posh. At my behest, the others began searching our surroundings once more. Whoever took Holmes's body is, beyond a doubt, our prime candidate for being the Duke. I zero in my senses, doing my best to take in the entire scene, not just the bloodstains. And then... Armor? Huh? Where? Where is he? What? He's right next to you, Techie. Can't you see him? How could you say something so wholly unscientific?
You're not gonna scare me, okay? Huh? No, really. I'll be getting back to my investigation. See you. The Psycha delusions were removed, and now he has just more delusions of his other friends. Teki puffs his cheeks ever so slightly in apparent annoyance, then returns to the area he'd been inspecting prior. But even though he should be dead, Armor's still there, unmoving and unresponsive. What in the world is going on here? Suddenly, Armor approaches the bloodstains left by Psycha and lifts what I can only assume is her body off the ground. What I'm seeing, could it be... Is this a vision of the past? I've only seen the future until now, so what am I supposed to make of this? No, wait. I've encountered residual thoughts at crime scenes before, and those gave me glimpses of the past. Maybe this is the same? What was it Psycha said at the end? That the denouement doesn't predict the future, but rather sees all? She said to reflect back on everything that's happened so far. Could this be what she meant? As I continue to focus my eyes, I notice something in the shadows of the tall grass. It's a footprint, which has now begun to dry. Judging by the size and shape, it's clearly Armor's. Maybe I saw it subconsciously, and my mind visualized how things played out? It's just like Sherlock Holmes' specialty, abductive reasoning. By reading traces of the past, I can infer what took place. So Armor really did move Psycha's body? How is he even here? Or alive? In the first place? I have millions of questions, but mulling them over in my head won't get us anywhere. I've got to tell the others about my discovery. Come here, guys! I found a footprint. This print, it doesn't seem like it's been here long. I wonder why there's only one? Maybe because the ground's still damp from the rain. It must have stopped when the culprit came to retrieve Ideal's body. But once they did, it picked up again, forcing them to seek shelter. As a result, their foot sank into the muddied ground here. Leaving a mark would have been practically unavoidable on damp soil, given that they were walking with the weight of 2 people. Shall we follow those tracks to their owner, then? The girl suggested. Do you have any guesses which way they went, Bookworm? Whoever made them, I mean? I thought you had already noticed. Considering the size of the print, it could only have been Armor, said the girl, her tone somewhat snide. Oh. Yeah, of course I did. That's Bookworm for you. I tried to avoid bringing the fact up myself, but it was as plain as day to her. If Armor created this footprint, we can surmise that he accessed the area by riding the helipad up from the underground maze to the surface. So it stands to reason that our next areas of investigation should be the heliport and maze in question, the girl stated simply. Armor, could he really be alive? I'm so happy to hear it, but the elephant in the room is, how? And why did he come back to the surface to take Holmes's body? Gourmet asks what we'd all been wondering. If he managed to survive, the natural course of action would be to contact us and regroup. For what purpose is he acting so secretively? The only way to find out will be to ask him directly. I wonder why Armor moved the body. We should hear it from the man himself. Whatever the case, fretting over right now won't get us anywhere. Come, let us head for the labyrinth via the heliport. We may be able to follow his trail, or perhaps find a clue as to his destination. We return once more to the heliport. Following Pasha's orders, I make sure we're all clustered in the center of the circular landing pad. I stand in front of the control panel, initiating the necessary operations. First, I release the lock. Then, I just have to flip the switch to make it descend. It's so easy, I could do it in my sleep. The panel's kind of a ways from the platform, though, meaning I've got to book it once I'm done, so everyone doesn't go down without me. A bit nerve-wracking, to say the least.
Oh, wait a sec, incompetent. It looks like the heliport's controls can actually be operated via D-pad. Seriously? Thank goodness. I wasn't feeling too sure about risking it. Not too long after, I see my D-pad notify me of external devices ready to connect, followed by what seems to be the heliport's name. It's probably set to display when the lock is released. I hurry and connect my D-pad to the control panel. I join the others on the landing pad, tap the screen of my device, and watch as the circular floor beneath us dips downward. The ride takes a little under 10 minutes. The helipad stops its descent, arriving in the underground hangar where we spent the night a few nights prior. What will we be investigating down in the labyrinth, incompetent? Typical. Always playing chief, then leaving it to others when the going gets rough, the girl said, struck in reverent awe over posh detective. Well, excuse me. Frankly, I haven't a clue what to do at this point. This is an order from your chief. Incompetent, take over and lead the DA in my stead. It seems you've turned over a new leaf too, the girl said with a small, exasperated sigh. Thanks, Posh. I'll do my best to get our investigation off to a good start. I think I might end off there today. And then I know I said I wouldn't stream tomorrow, but I think I'm going to just stream tomorrow and finish. I forgot to eat before stream, and I got like super lightheaded reading to where I was like, I can't even read the words. I was like, oh goodness. Oh goodness, that's not good. That's really not good. And I've been streaming for 2 hours, 30 minutes, so my, like, blood sugar is probably just really low. I don't have anything in me. I'm so sorry. To be Berrie Bam is to be vulnerable on stream like that, though. But we're really nearing the final stretch. We're in the last 20 hours of the game, okay? We're in the last 20 hours. The next stream will be our last process of elimination stream. After... Oh wow, it's gonna end with stream number 10. That feels like beautiful in a way, actually. Like, I like that. Oh my gosh. This has been such like a crazy ride and a crazy long game, and it's like all I want to play. I have a solid couple hours left. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. How many? Okay. When you say couple hours, okay, about 2, like 1 stream's worth. Okay. Because I am warning you all, I'm literally going to do so much and do my best, because if I don't finish tomorrow, I'm going to try really, really hard to stream on Friday. But if I can't, then we'll have to wait a week for more process of elimination. So I have to stream to tomorrow. I'll stream at the same time, I'll stream earlier than usual, and I'll get food before stream this time. So we're all set and ready to go. I won't overwork myself. I want to finish this game. I'm really liking it, and I'm getting to like the climax, and to leave, not the climax, I guess, like the conclusion, and to leave all of that, to leave all of us on the edge of our seats for a whole week. An entire week. I can't do that. I can't do that to me. I can't do that to my beautiful viewers. I'm gonna be sitting here, I'm gonna be like, oh man. Oh man. Like I can't believe I never noticed she was holding a plate of corn in this scene. If I have to go a week without process of elimination, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe Doleful was holding a plate of corn in the CG. That's how crazy I'm gonna get. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for coming in today.
at an earlier time than usual. We'll see how this time slot goes. If I like it, I might stay to it, but it's kind of right after the circus, so it makes things like getting food before stream a little bit difficult, but I'll do my very best. I'll do my very best. And I'll do my very best to finish Process of Elimination very soon. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming. I will see you very soon tomorrow, 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST. Wait, let me do the math. 1 a.m. Sweden time. Okay? Yep. Okay. I'll see you all very soon. Have a good rest of your night. But I'm heading out now. I'm gonna get food. I'm gonna get so much food. Okay. Bye.